All righty. Check, check, check. Microphone check. All right, we're good. We're live, and we are back. Welcome to the I Love Annuities podcast. This is Jeremiah Conger.
And I am Zachary Van Ness, and together we are the Annuity Dudes.
The Annuity Dudes. Today's episode is all about income, guaranteed income, but more importantly, we're taking a deeper dive into the top annuity providers for income in 2025. We're also going to discuss what makes them different and how some of the top offerings on the market lead over the rest of the pack. We're going to explain and break down exactly what you should be looking for and what to consider when making a better annuity buying decision. And it all starts with understanding the key areas to evaluate.
Yeah, and I think most importantly, really understanding how you can make a smarter annuity buying decision by using the multi-point inspection that we've added to our everyday routine.
Yeah, so over the years, working with hundreds and hundreds of clients across all 50 states, we've developed a method to evaluate and understand how to make better annuity buying decisions. And that's something that we've coined the multi-point annuity inspection that Zach just mentioned. But, when we look at retirement, we understand that there is an income dilemma. And to be honest, income is everything in retirement. We've mentioned that in the past. And you can't just hope that the stock market plays nice over a 20 to 30 year period in retirement.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why more and more people are really turning to annuities with that income rider, especially when we pair that with strong option here with long-term care benefits. But not only annuities, not every annuity is created equally. So we've really got to dive in deeper, use that full inspection and find out what's important to that individual and their needs.
Yeah, Zach, it's got to be pretty daunting when, you start down this path of maybe considering annuities and looking at an option or two, or, most of the time what we find is that, when people choose to work with us, they've only looked at one or two products at most. And it's generally because the advisor they're working with, that's all they led the conversation with was one product. And it's got to be daunting once you do your due diligence and you go on the, World Wide Web and start to research that annuity that somebody may have positioned to you, to find out that there's hundreds of others out there. And then you find out, there's all these other features and benefits. And, how do you make a good decision? How do you make a thorough evaluation of the available options? Everybody wants to get the most value or the most bang for your buck. And unfortunately, in today's day and age, even though many industries are led with technology, we've talked about it in the past that ours is so antiquated that there aren't really enough resources for a consumer to evaluate all of the available options. And that's where we've come up with this process. And that's really what we're trying and striving to do every day, is to bring more attention to a sound way to evaluate these options and giving you the ability to compare and contrast all of those. But today we're going to be reviewing the leading annuity providers through the lens of our multi-point annuity inspection, and that we believe every annuity buyer should know about. We're not here to hide all the secret sauce, right? We want to share with you what we use as advisors to help our clients make better decisions.
Yeah, and I think a situation that you and I both run into is in speaking with clients, we find that they were oftentimes suggested a product or maybe two products. And you say, well, how the hell did Jim get to this point where he's saying this is the best option for me based on an hour-long conversation? There's really no, our mission behind the purpose of this multi-point annuity inspection is that not only are we showing you how we're getting there, but we're taking what's important to you into consideration and making that decision. So it's not just the highest income that's always the best option. maybe that is the best choice for you. But
Yeah.
how did we get there? And really, being transparent and sharing that information up front.
I had gotten an email the other day. I don't remember who what the gentleman's name was, but it was a prospective client, and he was telling me how he had gotten positioned a particular annuity. I'm not going to mention the name here, but it was one that has like this performance driven element to grow the income benefit. And he said it sounded too good to be true, and most of the time that is the case. And so what ended up happening is, I believe I forwarded that email over to our other senior annuity advisor on our team. His name is Matt. I sent that over to him. And then the other day I called Matt to ask how everything was going. And he said, "Oh, that gentleman that you sent me his info over, I got a meeting with him. And after speaking with him, he's like, come to find out, the advisor that he was working with, he's like, when he sent him the illustration, when the advisor sent this gentleman the illustration, he left out all of the guaranteed pages. He only showed him one page, and that was the non-guaranteed page, which shows those like really elevated income amounts, assuming these index crediting strategies went through the roof and drove the performance of the income benefit out of the water."
Wow.
And it's just a red flag. Like, that's what we're trying to change, is all of the wrongdoings in this industry. And there's a better way to evaluate these options, and I think everybody needs to know how to do it. And that's kind of where we've come up with this episode, is to share how we do it. And when consumers find out that not just is the income amount and things important, when they start to learn all of the other critical areas to evaluate to make a good decision, they find that, hey, maybe there's, a way to get not only just a great income, but some of these other features and benefits without having to compromise much to get them. And
Mhm.
but you don't even know that those options exist when you're only positioned one product and you're not able to compare any of the others. And that's really what we want to do, is earn your business through trust and transparency, by educating you and lifting your annuity IQ to a higher level.